I don't know how much you know about this event yet, but basically the main mission of this event is to honor the fallen officers in 2019. In 2019, 147 officers were killed in the line of duty. And we have over there a weight to represent each one. I have collected the lead. It's all a bunch of donated lead. Melted it, cleaned it, cast it, weighed it, wrapped it. We had volunteers come out and wrap it. So it's been a meticulous process. Not a single one of those weights is under 16 ounces. Every one of them are a pound. They can be over, not one of them are going to be shorted a single ounce. If it's 15.9, you got to throw back in the pot and melt it. Each one of those weights are wrapped with an officer's picture, the patch from the agency that they worked for whenever they died. And then it's got a short bio on it about the agency they worked for, their name, their rank, and the watch date, and cause of death. So that way, whenever you're going over there to pick those weights up, put them in your pack, you know what each pound in your pack is for. You know what got you here, why we're here. So that's going to be part of, like, there's a couple sayings that go along with this thing. Is every ounce and every pound. We've accounted for every single ounce there. What you will have to do is carry these weights. So these weights must go the 15 miles of your leg. You don't have to do all 15 miles. It's the weights that matter that go the 15 miles. So if y'all work as a team, some ruck and some rest, that's fine. If you take a rest and you have weight, you pack it on, you give it over to somebody who's going to keep rucking and make sure that all those weights stay together on the course. The standard for the pace is going to be a minimum 20-minute mile. So that's an average walking pace for a lot of folks. So far, every leg has been keeping right there between 18 and 20 minutes. So I don't know if it's the grass and the terrain back and forth with the pavement. In times past, I think you remember last year, Roman, in the beginning, we were clicking along pretty good. You banked some time. And later on, it was good, you saved it. So far, it's seeming like they're not having that opportunity to bank time. Something about this terrain. It's just a different challenge, a different type of challenge. Another saying we have with this event is every step of every mile. So I have checked this course on my Garmin. It is exactly 3 miles and not a step short or over. So if you cut a corner, that's going to cut the distance off of an officer, off the mile that officer's over. We're not going to disrespect this officer. So all the courses marked. You go around that perimeter. We'll be around this bigger park perimeter. We go out and back on Bobby Brown Road a little way, and we'll end back up at this table. The flag, I've got 3 flags: American flag, blue line flag that has the names of all 147 officers on it, and also our End of Watch Memorial Ruck flag. Those 3 flags will go the entire distance as well. So if you're carrying a flag and you decide to break off, pass it on to somebody who's going to keep you up. A couple of basically standards here that we're going to hold with this. And these are all patches that I keep in my patrol car. Some of y'all have seen these. This first one that we're going to hold. Attention to detail. So whenever you're out on this ruck and you have to swap weights with somebody, you make sure that every single weight goes to that person. So if you're taking a rest, there's not a lone one sitting in your back. Attention to detail, paying attention to your teammates. If you notice somebody stop sweating, check on them. We can get them some water, some Gatorade. We got some stuff for cramping, like base salts over there. Take care of your teammates. One thing that happens is once you get in a groove, you get out on this, you start focusing on just your pace and your groove. You forget about your teammates, attention to detail. Make sure, check on them. Because I don't want to see a group over here and then another group half a mile back, because that's not teamwork. That's y'all leaving somebody behind. And where I have an issue with leaving people behind is that if y'all have ever been in a muster room and seen your partner sitting over in a corner not talking to everybody, he's got something weighing heavy on his shoulders and nobody checks on him, we're leaving him behind. We're failing our brothers. So we're not going to do that out here. We're going to hold that standard. This next one I have here is along the same lines. Teamwork is key. Everything about this is a teamwork event. Not a single person sitting here can carry all of that weight by themselves and do every single mile. Y'all need each other. Heather, you need Tift. Tift, you need Jackson. Y'all all need each other. So if things are starting to get hard, somebody's falling behind, it's easy to start getting upset with each other. Keep attitudes in check, because that will begin the breakdown of the team. And just so if there's a problem, communicate, figure out what it is, and figure it out. Problem solve. Another one that I go over with my trainees a lot of times, that we go over with this event, is that you are one of two things: you're either an asset or a liability. There's no gray area in between. You're either helping the team or you're hurting the team. So not all assets look the same. So as far as this team goes, an asset may look like somebody who's carrying 50 pounds and rucking a 15-minute mile. Whereas for somebody else, it may look like the person that's keeping the snacks out, keeping the cooler stocked, keeping water, making sure everybody's taken care of, watching the pace, doing all the finer details. A liability can become somebody who is not paying attention to their limits and then holding the team back, not recognizing that, hey, maybe some other strategy needs to be worked here. The last one here, so y'all have been given the standard of the pace, the weights, the course, the teamwork, and all of these are the standards you have to meet. This is something I go over too. The standards don't care about your excuses. Those weights are constant. That pound will not get any lighter, it will not get any softer, it will not change, but you are not constant. Y'all need each other. The standards don't care about your excuses, but your friends do, the people to your right and left. So if something's coming up, talk to each other. Each one of these miles we're doing it for an officer down, so we're willing to walk a mile in their shoes. The weight represents the officer as well as the burden of the badge. We get an incredible burden to take away someone's freedom, to take away someone's life. Sometimes that can weigh heavy on each other's shoulders. The types of calls we go to. There's something that's happens in this type of career. It's called cumulative stress. So you come out of the academy with your buddies, you're all full of energy, ready to tackle everything. You've got a fast car, a gun. Fast forward 20 years, or 20 miles, 15 miles. All that weight starts to get a little heavy. Sometimes whenever it gets to that point, you start just focusing in on your 2 steps, your shoulders hurt, your knees hurt, your feet hurt. You're focusing in on just the 2 steps in front of you, completely forgetting about people to your right and to your left, and to the supplies that we have out here. So if you see somebody, just keep that cumulative stress in mind for yourself, your self-care, but in your personal life, but also for this event. Does anybody here have extra weight? Like brought an extra couple pounds in memory of a buddy that, for whatever reason? Okay. Just like to cover that. In times past, we've had folks throw an extra 10, 20 pounds in their pack, and then whenever they are rotating through their team, the packs and the weight, they didn't tell them. So the next person's getting it, wondering why their pack's 50 pounds instead of 20. So we shouldn't have any traffic on Bobby Brown Road, but just try to keep in mind the possibility of cars coming down. At the end of your leg, Tom's going to have some food ready for you. If there's a cooler out on the leg, on the legs that's getting low, please let us know. As soon as y'all finish, so once you go through these gates, we're going to go out of the team, we're going to stay on the course as a team, you're going to come back through that gate with those flags where they're supposed to as a team. Whenever y'all get done, we'll lay all the weights down, you'll account for every one of them. It's going to be 147, so just count them. If you're missing one, there's a roster where we can double check on that. And we'll take, at the end, we'll take the flag over to the side, get you to sign the flag, do a group picture, and I'll get y'all patched. Anybody have any questions?
I'll go over extra weight.
Extra weight, yes, but there's a binder here that's split up into the teams for leg 5. So just look for tab 5. There's going to be 15 bios separated right there. Sometime between now and the end of your leg, I want those bios read. It's another standard we have here is every story will be heard. So what most teams have been doing is just pulling out their 15 on the first day. They read them, they come back, put them back in the binder, and they'll go out for the rest of the class. But if nobody's got any questions, y'all can go ahead and pack up. Y'all will step off in 18
You got
minutes.
3 more people coming?
No.